Hi, I'm Jo and welcome to the Jo Yoga Life Diaries. Here at my podcast, we discuss life yogically, as a parent, as a girlfriend, as a sister, as a friend, and we just talk about the ups and downs of life and how we can live a better, more spiritually aware lifestyle. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher, a children's yoga teacher, a mama, and I'm the founder of the Kundalini Connections online yoga studio. Enjoy the show. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Jo Yoga Life Diaries. It has been a bit of a break from me. I've not been on here for some time, and it's been really nice actually. We've had a really good Christmas break, a good New Year break, and I'm back with lots of content and lots of exciting topics for us to share, and plenty of wonderful meditations and things coming your way too. So I hope you had an amazing break and a lovely Christmas and New Year. And we did the 12 days of Christmas via Instagram leading up to Christmas, where we did some yoga every morning or a meditation, and we focused on a different aspect like clarity or detox or getting organized, that sort of thing. And if you want to revisit that series, it is still all there on my IGTV at Kundalini Connections. So you can just go and have a look and follow me on Insta anyway. And day 1 right through to day 12, and enjoy that series. I think the new year, it brings up lots of assessing life. Where are we? Where do you want to be? There's lots of talk of goal setting and what you want to achieve and all of this kind of outward projection. So I suppose I wanted to use today to just kind of discuss about changing paths. So going in a bit of a different direction, not about like pushing and launching yourself, but what if you wanted to change paths? What if actually where you were headed didn't feel right and you wanted to go somewhere completely different? And that's what I want to share with you today. I'm going to give you a little bit of background to me because I am 45 years old and probably on my 12th career now. I've changed paths so many times and changed direction so many times. And I'm happy with that. And it's good. And going with the flow is quite freeing. As you well know, I take massive inspiration from the universe and from what messages I receive, what signs I receive, coincidences. I try and look for the message in them. I take opportunities as well when they come my way. So I don't remember ever really kind of consciously making decisions to change things. I just noticed that kind of the universe guided me in a certain way. When I was at school, I was going to join the Navy. And I was going to join the Navy as an aircraft handler. And I went to do my A-levels so that I could go straight in as an officer. When I went for my day, for my tests and interview and everything, I failed the medical on the grounds that I used to suffer with migraines. As a teenager, I used to get migraines quite regularly. On the medical, you had to have been clear of migraines for 2 years. And at that point, I wasn't. So they couldn't, even though I'd passed everything else, I couldn't go based on that one thing. I remember the doctor even saying to me, he said, you can just come back in 2 years. As long as you don't have a migraine, come back. But it was like, I didn't quite know what to do with myself then, because up to that point, that was it. I was off to Dartmouth and I was going to, be in the Navy and just travel the world and sail around the world. And that's what I was going to do. But I think from when I decided I was going to join the Navy as a 13, 14-year-old up to the point where I went to go in, the Wrens had started to go on ship by this time, and all of the criteria had changed a bit and was a lot stricter. So anyway, long story short, I didn't get in. I also decided not to wait 2 years and try again, because within that 2 years, life happened a bit differently. So I went and got a job in a bank. Boring. Didn't last that very long. Then I applied to work in a holiday. Actually, I worked in a factory for 1 day. I worked in this freezing cold fridge factory, chopping up cauliflowers into tiny florets to then be frozen, bagged up and sent to the shops. the whole day working in this fridge, and I have Raynaud's, so my hands were numb, and it was really noisy because of the motors to keep the place cold. And I remember everybody was just shouting because they couldn't talk normally because it was so noisy, but you couldn't have a conversation with the person next to you. You were there cutting cauliflower for 12 hours. And I remember at lunchtime seeing this car of cauliflowers and thinking, I could get in there and I could get out of here. That's how bad I lasted one day. I worked there for one day. That was it. I hated it. I did that. And then I went and worked for a holiday company and was a holiday rep for a few years before the whole Ibiza Uncovered thing came out and before all of the other holiday programs. At this point, you had to know a modicum of language. You had to deal with a lot of issues and things. And it was, it was a serious job. Yes, it was a party job. Yes, it was great fun. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. But also it was a serious job and you worked very hard, but loved it. And I was there for about 6 years. And then I came home and then I worked at a drama school teaching stage management and worked in theatre. And then I went backpacking. Then I found out I was going to be a mum. And so I got a job as a receptionist to pay my rent. And then I went on a yoga teacher training course to see if I could help my child do yoga. And then I became a yoga teacher. And so you can see I've had so many jobs and kind of gone in weird directions, really weird directions that I don't ever remember really consciously making decisions. They just happened. And even with the yoga teaching job, I never intended to become a teacher. I just wanted to do the training so that I could help my son do yoga. And if you've listened to my other podcasts about my yoga teach training journey, you know that I never intended to be a teacher, but it just happened. And after just my first weekend of training, I was like, I've got to share this. This is so important. And I wrote off to 50 schools and heard back from one. So I went and taught there and then opened up open classes and got maybe 2 students. And it's just grown really organically and to the point where, and then the pandemic happened and I needed a way to be able to share yoga with everybody. And so then it becomes an online studio and Kundalini Connections is born. And you see, so all of these things just happen to make me change direction and put me on the right path. And I know whether it's right or not by how it feels. So this is what I say to you today. Sit with your decisions. Notice what opportunities come your way. Notice where the messages are. And sit with what happens and see how it feels. And you'll know if it's not right. And ladies, I speak to you more so here because you really know your intuition is strong. Men as well. You know if it's right or if it's wrong. Just be with it and accept. And making decisions might not always be, it might be a hard decision to make in the first instance. But if you know it's the right one, then you know it's the right one. This is your life. You have one life. You must live it. You must live it fully. You're not living it for somebody else. So make those decisions. Change your path if necessary. And you know what? It might be a sudden day thing where you notice one day that you've been in the wrong place or with the wrong person or in the wrong job. There might just be that sudden realization. I had a great comment made to me once that the universe will send you so many little nudges. And if you're not paying attention, it will send you a juggernaut. So, and it might be the juggernaut that suddenly gets you to go, right. This isn't right. Changing paths may well be scary, but great. Because if you're not scared, you're not stepping out of your comfort zone. And there is no growth inside the comfort zone. I say to you today, grab those opportunities. If you feel you need to change your path, then change it. Do it. And see how it feels and live your life fully. And please share with me where you are, where you're going, and what's changing for you. I'm always here to support you. I'm always here to listen. As you well know, the online studio is there to support you. Full of rituals, full of nourishing relaxations, yoga sequences to help you, support you physically, mentally, emotionally. It's all there. Enjoy. Thank you so much for listening to this episode today. Please feel free to leave a review. That's how we share the love, share the magic. And please feel free to share this episode. If you want any more from me and you want to practice with me, then go to realjoyoga.com and get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for your time. Thank you for listening. With all my love and light, I'll see you next time.